Let's
Doesn't
see if this
typically
works.
happen to me.
Test. Yeah, it worked. Okay. Okay. So, anywho, we were on a spaceship, and
Hmm.
Yafai and Vax were talking about how we kind of don't trust the sect, like because we saw that when old dude put the seed in his chest, basically turned into a god. So we're thinking maybe we shouldn't just necessarily hand it out.
Yeah, I was literally responding, and then I realized everyone's video was frozen.
Ah,
I was like, ah, shit, and then I got the red
Mm.
arrow on roll 20. So, I was saying, yes, lady very sus lady.
well, it just so happens that where can you hide a magical object from the gods? And I happen to have a place that is kind of like that's what we do there. I mean, you know, we hide things from people that are powerful.
And how do you remember this?
I imagine that probably Vax has talked about it, right? About how he can't remember things. I I can remember most of my recent life. What I can't remember is anything about where I grew up or where I came from.
Okay. I want to make stroganoff, but not for the rest of the crew.
And it's just for yourself. Yeah.
Just for myself.
Okay.
Art imitating life.
Um, so so here we go. I mean, the good news is I think that we may be able to lay low here for a while as well. Although eventually we're going to have to talk to this, the priestess.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Do you head directly there, Vax?
I think the way I get there is I think he needs to have some sort of a scatter plan, both an entry and an exit scatter plan. So he has a way of running cold for like a long period of time. So it takes like 2 weeks, but he runs cold, like runs silent on his ship, um,
Right.
and that allows him to be able to take his ship into safe harbor too. That's my thought.
Okay. Yeah. So you guys have been drifting cold for a couple weeks now. Um, you, uh, I assume Vax has given you a bit of information, but it seems hazy. I think you guys are kind of just trusting him to get you where you need to go at this point. Um, so as you begin to come into this new system, you are coming into the Easy Aquarii C2B system. Um, it's not far actually from Earth itself, just about 10 light years. It's a triple red dwarf stars, A and C orbit one another, uh, and then with some spin from B. The usual energy and gravitational forces from the stars cause the belt in the binary part of the solar system to be rich in minerals, which have been mined out over the centuries by explorers. So, as a result of this, there's a lot of these ghost stations, these places that used to be controlled or managed by the Federation. Some go actually back before the Federation, and there are countless hidey holes and spots for people of varying motivations and agendas to hide. Now, there is a federal way station located on C2, and that is where Vax is taking you. Vax, who are you taking him to meet?
I think it starts clean. We land at C2, um, clean and registered. Um, oh man, we can't have a tail from the sect though, so we can't make it. I don't think I can go to C2 because if I do, the sect is going to find out. I think we have to bypass it and go straight to the moon and on B.
Okay. So usually yeah, I mean, which is risky, right? I mean, coming straight into a moon, uh, as opposed to landing on C2 first.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to like moor the ship and then EVA or whatever you call it, spacewalk it
Yep.
out, and then come in through an airlock.
Yeah. Very cloak and dagger type stuff, but not anything. Vax, I'm sure you're obviously, I'm guessing not your first time doing an approach, something similar to this. You're probably familiar with this, but I don't know. Anika Yafai is sort of like coming in dead of the night, EVAing in. Is this something that is this a new sort of experience for you? Maybe not the particulars, but I mean, this is very, back alley, like I said, cloak and dagger type stuff. What's your guys' experience in this sort of world?
Yaf would definitely have some experience with kind of covert under the cover of night type things, being loosely associated with some of the crime on Kepler. But he's never done anything this kind of extreme and James Bond like.
Yeah. Almost like some opening scenes of an Ocean's movie, almost. It's not the climax of the movie, but it's definitely got a little heist feel to it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Vax, where do you take him in?
I think as I'm approaching the system, I think I realize that as we've got about a few hours out, it runs silent, so there's no piloting going on. Basically, it was figured out in advance, and so I say, well, Yafai and Nika, I've got some good news and bad news.
What is good news?
I lied, there's no good news.
So, in
Oh.
addition to bad news that there is no good news, what bad news?
Okay. The Federation has a buoy out, and that means that we're not going to be able to land in an actual port.
Can I decide I just don't want to hear any more bad news and make a really tiny ice wall just in his mouth so he's just like, ugh.
No, you can't do that.
Yeah,
Sean, you can't put things in my mouth.
Is
It's
that
an
the
ice
first time
wall,
that's been
not
said?
my
I st-
icy balls.
I just
That sounds practiced.
just have to go ahead and just make that clear. We're not putting it. You can't put anything in my mouth in this game today.
I could almost hear for the last time before that phrase.
You don't want any more of the bad news? There's still a bit more.
Yeah, it's
I
gonna like
guess it's
shrug
better
and be
to
like,
be prepared.
just might as well.
As you can see, that we're silent running. If we turn on the ship systems, especially any active systems, the Federation will know where we are, and that I think means the Sect will know where we are. So that means that we have to hope that I didn't put us into a trajectory that's going to turn us into dust, and then we're going to have to control it manually without sensors so that there's no active sensors. And at the end, we're going to have to hope that my friends here in this rock recognize me and are not too surprised when a silent ship rams into their station, and that they let us in before we run out of air. I think that covers it.
It's a lot of risk factors, boss. I don't know about this.
Yeah. I suppose the other option is that we could run for the station, and I think the Sect would know where we are. Which means they would know where the seed is.
Yeah, that's less than ideal.
At this point, I think it's safe to assume you all understand that if the Sect did find you, the first question would be why you were anywhere else except the sanctuary with this seed. So the stakes are high.
They did threaten to kill me once.
All right, so you guys, what's the consensus here? F, Anika?
Yef's gonna defer to Vax on this one. This is not his area of expertise.
Yeah, space travel and sneakiness are not really. Yeah.
You can pull off a great little cat burglary, but sneaking onto a planet is it's a whole different ballgame.
Well, I'm sure it'll be fine. And he like turns back and he like goes to the controls to set them up to trigger an alarm when it needs manual control. He's like, or we could all die, and then
Reassuring.
All right, so as you come in on B, on moon B, or rotating around C2. You see, as you approach, you see the main Federation station. It's active, it's bustling, fully operational. And I can imagine for those of you that don't have the finer details of Vax's plan, your gut reaction is, shit, this is where we're going. How do you expect us to sneak in here? But as you approach the moon, Vax takes the ship and begins to actually slip into an orbit around the moon below the main Federation station. As you do so, you come past the main Federation station, you begin to come around the edge of the moon, and you see a much smaller, apparently abandoned station. This seems to be where you all are landing. Let's fill them in on the station a little bit.
did I make it?
What's that now?
Did I make it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why we'd need to know about the station if we didn't make it.
True enough.
You crashed into the ocean and drowned. Tell them about the station you were going to take them to before that.
Anyways, see?
As your ship sinks under the water, in the distance, you the space station.
You see the other scene that we're no longer going to. Make a new character.
You taunt your passengers with lives that could have been.
Easy peasy. No problem. This is welcome to Easy Aquarii C2B, everyone. This is a long abandoned Federation facility. It is an outstation that used to provide a data. It's like a way station for information and maintenance, and it's been abandoned, but squatters started to take over the place about 15 years ago, and well, it's kind of been home for me ever since. I've got some friends here. I think we'll be okay if I can just get their attention. I'm not sure how to do that without activating anything. I guess we can make a loud noise. We could knock.
Did y'all used to have any kind of code or like signal that they would recognize?
I have an EVA scatter plan, but it doesn't work both ways. I have a relationship actually with the feds over on the station. I know, but it's a little different here. But you know, obviously they can't help me right now. Part of the place's charm, if you will, is that it's ensconced in such a way that it's very hard for anyone on the outside to find their way in, whether it's through a sweep or through imaging or any kind of scan. So I think we're gonna have to knock.
Right. you guys in. You're able to land. I'm gonna say you land successfully, and as you come in, you approach, and I think Vax is able to find his way up to the door. And are you literally knocking on the front door there, Vax?
Yeah, I get in the airlock, and I start to put on an. Do we have? I have EVA suits. Why else would I? I mean, I have. Nobody would ever have a starship without having that, right?
Right, correct.
Okay.
Yeah, you had your original starship. Anything that it was lacking or was run down was replaced for you by the Sect. When you joined up with them, they made a couple little upgrades to your ship. So there's nothing on the ship that you would be wanting for.
I start out in the airlock, and I'm like, I get my helmet on, and I'm like, well, I guess I'll see you guys in a little bit, or not. If can you press the button, please? Yeah. You know, so all right. I go like to like an airlock, and I pull myself up to it, and I find like a a metal tool, and I just against the outside of it.
Okay. So you do this, and you hear some mechanical shifting around, and a camera pops out right above, looks at you for a second, and then just goes right back inside. You get the feeling that whoever's on the other side of that camera it's probably maybe not the most stoked to see you.
Reminds me of that scene in Star Wars when C-3PO is at the gate of Jabba's at
Oh
Jabba's
dear.
compound. Little eyeball.
Well, we're clearly not wanted here. Let's go. Anyways, do I think that I can do I think I can jack my way into the airlock?
Yeah, I mean, I think you absolutely can. I think also that this is prime time to use if, by any chance you had a feature that was meant to be used to learn what it was that people wanted, then this might not be the worst time for that.
Oh. Yeah, is there some way... I don't know who it is, but
Why don't you just try knocking again? I think they're just a little bit salty, but they're old friends, right? Surely they won't.
yeah,
keep you
I
out in the
do
cold
that.
forever.
And I knock again on the...
3 weeks later.
You knock again, and the camera comes back, and this time is you hear a mic pop up, and they say, "Vax, what do you want?"
Do I recognize the voice?
Yes, it is the voice of your old, quote-unquote, friend. Let me pull this up real quick. It's somebody you knew a long time ago. It is your friend Nikos. Nikos Ivanov, specifically.
Oh.
Who you should be able to see.
Nikos, it's kind of cold out here, buddy. Can you let me in, please? And yeah, I absolutely am trying to disarm him, and I want to know. Yeah, I mean, I think that's now that I know who it is, like, I definitely want to try to figure out their temperament. Interestingly, I don't remember, so, and I don't know, so, like, I need to try to. I need to try to.
This is before. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, like, we can improvise it, but like, this is a handy thing because I I don't know what I did to offend him. So,
Right.
So what, from his tone,
Yeah.
what do I think I could do to try to endear myself to him?
Well, so this all happened. Your experience with these compatriots happened before the time that you lost your memories.
Yeah.
I'm asking you, is this is a memory that you've lost?
Yeah, I think that's kind of cool. Like, as we encounter it, I'm like, what did I do to piss this guy off?
Um, yeah. So he. So. Give me just one second. Read someone's voice. Um, you were able to tell that maybe your guys' last interaction didn't go quite as planned. Um, uh, and so I think you can tell by listening to him that really he's just a little salty about something that happened before. I think if you can break through that ice, remind him, uh, you obviously can't remind him of the details, but if you can just help him to remember that you are friends and you guys, had a good relationship, that it'll break through that initial just skimming of ice on the surface, and you should be fine. So just being relatable and being friendly to him is probably all it's going to take. I don't think he's planning on actually leaving you out in the cold.
Can I improvise the memory?
You may.
Okay.
Look, Nikos, I had to shoot him, alright? You know I'm always trying to take care of you all. Sometimes it has to happen, buddy.
Look, I don't mind that you shot him, but did you have to do it at his cousin's wedding?
Oh, she was a bitch anyways.
Well, come on, Vax. We all know she was a bitch, eh? That's why the only reason we were at the wedding was the free booze. But it wasn't polite. You upset my mom. I'm gonna hit play on the record. I'm gonna need you to apologize to my mom before I let you in here.
Oh, God.
I don't like it that you messed up the wedding.
Mrs. Ivanov. Hello. It's Mr. Turner. I appreciate the cookies that you gave me. I'm sorry I shot your relative. He was wanted in 5 systems, and also there was a lot of money. But I'm sorry. Anyways, I'm very sorry, and I'll make it up to you and to Nikos.
And I like looking to the camera.
Come on, Nikos.
Like, all right, 2 things, Vax. 1, you shit at apologizing. 2, just kidding, you bastard. The key's under the rock by your foot. Come on inside.
Like I gotta look down and like there's literally a space rock, like because there's asteroids out here, and it's just like sitting there because there's no gravity, and I like kick it and it floats away, and there's like literally a key card.
Yep.
Oh, we're gonna need to talk about this too.
And I like get it, and then I take that and I go back and
that was real sweet. No, she'll love it, man. I'll send it to her. She's dead, but I'll go play it for her. She don't give a shit anymore. Come on inside.
I go back into the ship and I tell everybody that we need to suit up and we can come inside. Where do you get this stuff? Man.
I give a certain man on Patreon by the name of Miska a certain amount of money every month.
Interesting.
And he hooks me up with maps as an exchange.
Wow.
Miska's maps, Miska. That's his art style. He does he does some traditional fantasy type stuff. But he does a lot of sci-fi stuff. A number of the maps you guys have played on have been Miska's. Actually, the Pit was his as well. Different art style, but
wow.
Same fellow. Got a huge library. Depending on how much money you pay him every month.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, I'm not going to pull out your icons. This is more just for a visual reference. But as you come in the side, you come in the front here, and he goes, welcomes you in, and he says, Vax, my buddy, what are you doing in this system? You know you're not allowed around here. Gives you a big hug.
Yeah, I hug him around his portly, kind of gross middle that supported just he's missing half of his body, and I hug him on the top half, and I say, these are my friends. This is Anika and Yafai. We're doing some work together. Anika,
Oh, well,
Yafai. This is Nikos.
You know what I say. Any friends of Vax are probably some garbage people. So come on inside. You'll be right at home.
Friend is a strong word.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Yafai.
looking
Or I'm
around
sorry.
all
Thanks,
the garbage
Anika.
cans for,
See,
for
look,
bugs.
I was right. Friend is strong word. He can't even remember name.
Sorry,
like-
where were you saying, Caleb?
I was just saying, Yafai is immediately looking in all the garbage cans for any kind of bugs he can eat.
There's lots of bugs. This place, if I could say so, Joel, this place is disgusting. Because
I don't. The artwork of the station itself is far more attractive than the station is in reality. Yeah, it's this station's day has come and gone, and upkeep has not been good. The housekeepers haven't come in about 37 years, give or take a few. So it's a little worse for wear.
I take Nikos. I'm like, hey, Nikos, listen. Is Rupert okay? He's not giving you any more problems? He's helping?
No, Rupert's good. Yeah. You know, he has his little fits. You know, sometimes he's not happy, and when he's not happy, he doesn't come out of his room. But he's
Right.
actually feeling good today. Hey, Rupert, come on over here.
Oh, Rupert's not plugged in. No,
And,
we're doing this. Okay.
And you see come shuffling around the corner.
Rupert! Hi.
X.
Hi, Rupert. Good to see you up and about. Work's going okay? Everything on the net's fine?
Fine. What do you ask?
Okay. Yeah. It's good to see you too, Rupert. Listen, Nikos, is there somewhere where we can talk? Can we go to your office?
Oh yeah, come on back. He takes you back in to where he works. It's literally a small space surrounded by more monitors and screens and displays than you thought could possibly fit into a room this size. Despite his warm, funny personality, not despite, but in addition to, Nikos is one of the most talented hackers in the entire system. Not the entire system, in the entire solar system. The man is absolutely incredible, and you see everything you could possibly think. Nikos is actually filtering and siphoning information leaving the Federation station on the other side of this moon, and that is what Nikos does here on the station. So he brings you into his station.
How much stuff do you want me to throw in here, as far as improvising this? I don't know.
Oh, you man.
Okay,
Oh,
I
you.
don't know. Okay, so the other thing that you guys notice is this place is what are those things? Not a. Is it still called a den? What do you call those places that people go? It's part squatters, part drug addicts. It's like a place you can dive
Hostel?
and you
Flop
just
house?
straight at like a den, an opium den, but whatever they call it, the modern reincarnation of that is. What is that called? There's a
Flop
Usually
house?
Is it a
like
flop
a shitty
house?
hostel.
Hostel?
Yeah, if you're
flop
talking about-
house?
If you're talking about where junkies group together and just get high and just laying around all the time, yeah, it's a flop house.
Okay, I'd never heard of that. So
I call that my living room.
Are you shooting up heroin in your living room?
No.
This is
Just a lot
a
of stoners sitting around.
they're like kind of three parts to this that would make it not amenable to civilization. It's part flop house, part cyber cafe, part uh, underneath an interstate bridge. Like there's a bunch of there we go. It looks like that. It looks like absolute garbage, and then people are plugged into the network, and they're on drugs, and then there's a lot of vagrants and people with don't have support systems. They have nowhere else to go, and they're either addicts or outcasts or something that has driven them from society. This is that kind of place, and Rupert and Nikos keep everyone in line, and it makes it kind of a community. But as a result, you have this team of like hackers, basically, and I don't know. Yeah, it looks like shit everywhere. Just used stuff that they've siphoned off and stolen from the Federation outpost nearby on C2. Yeah, that's true. Spider nest.
Okay. Okay, so you come into Nico's office. There's a couple squatters who have come in trying to plug into his system, but he promptly kicks them out and sits down. He said, "Hey, so what is it you need, bud? I can only assume just by the fact that you're here that you got something on your mind."
Yeah, Nikos, we've got something. We've got a package with us. I'm not gonna lie.
I bet you do.
Yeah, no, not that kind. Yeah, Nikos, listen, this one's real hot. It's real hot. If I hate to leave it with you all, but I don't know where else to go.
Vax, my buddy. You know what that's like here. You know what the pressure we're under. What are you bringing me, boy? You know I want to help, Vax. You know I got love for you. You're like a brother to me, but it just depends, man. I can only do so much.
It's a simple thing. Do you still have the room, that room that has the one that you closed off, that you put it in, the place we called the freezer?
Hey, keep your voice
Sorry.
down.
Yeah.
Voice down. Not everybody knows about everything about here. Yeah, we got the freezer, all right? We got it.
All right. Look, this package, it goes all the way up to the top. I'm not even talking Federation. I'm talking beyond that. The people that really pull the strings. I'm sorry to do this to you, but I'm pulling this favor if I can.
Well, Vax, you know I owe you. Otherwise, I don't know if I'd be able to do it. So I think we can make it happen. But Vax, I gotta tell you, your timing couldn't have been worse, man. She's here today. She came in.
She's in the nest.
She's in the nest. She don't come but a couple times a year at most, but she's here today. Buddy, you could not have picked a worse time.
Is she alone?
So she's alone. It's a solo visit, but I don't know how things things didn't end the best amount. All of us, it kind of fell apart, but I don't know, man. She's ice. She's got ice in them veins, so I don't think you're gonna be able to make it to the freezer without bumping into her first.
All right.
Just to warn you, I'm just telling you because you're my friend.
You're right. I can take care of this. I'll handle this first. I know that we're not on the best of terms, but, even we can work it out.
Work out what? You turn around and there you see the very tall, very beautiful form of Eva Linhart.
Eva, Commander.
She's okay.
It's that probably made it worse. You said that in character.
Yeah, you were trying to.
Like Anika looks at her and she's like, she's okay. It's pretty good. I do. Oh my God.
Sean, was that like a she's okay, like all right, or was that like a?
I mean, you
she's
said
fine.
tall and very beautiful, so I looked up and I'm like, she's okay. But yeah, totally in character. Here, let me just here we go. Yeah, stir the pot. There we go. Too much ice. I can't stir.
No more
You
ice
get the
problems.
idea.
Out of character, boss. Do you want to explain to your compatriots who Eva is?
Yafai, Anika, this is my old friend Eva. She runs things around here.
We certainly knew each other. I will go that far. Yes, Mr. Ternan, who you by no doubt have met, obviously know to some extent, is certainly very good at stirring up trouble. That is for sure, aren't you, Vax? So the question remains then. I can only assume you're here because you want something. What fresh hell have you brought us today?
Oh, this is like home to me, Ava. What brings you down to the nest?
Oh,
Everything's
I
okay, I assume.
Oh, certainly. I have to clean out the cobwebs once or twice a year. Too many negligence could draw attention to this cozy little chateau that we have on this side of the moon.
I understand. Well, it's good to see you again, Ava.
I can say that I am not sad that you are still alive.
Like, this is something that's really awkward for Vax to be like with Nikos and Eva in the same room, and he's like, it's kind of like what do you call it? Like when you're, what do you call it when, you've got kind of two lives, two families that see each other at the same time or whatever.
Right.
Crossing of worlds or something like that.
Yeah. Eva, is everything been okay? Is there anything you need help with?
Well, Vax, I think we remember what happened the last time you tried to help me, don't we? While I certainly will not turn you away, and I am, again, happy to see still out there causing trouble, I believe that our days of doing business together are perhaps over after our little debacle, if you do remember.
I remember.
You do remember? Okay.
Yeah, I say that in character.
Yeah. Well, the question that I asked still stands. What is it that brings you over to this side of the galaxy today?
I just needed to patch my ship. I needed a place to lay low between jobs. This is the nest is home.
Well, we both know that's not the only truth, but I think at this point it would probably be best if I didn't know why else it is that you're here. So, Vax, Nikos, whoever you two are, I wish you a good day, and I hope to see you in only good conditions in the future. And then she leaves.
Command. Okay, she left. Okay. Sorry about that, Anika. If yeah. Can't keep all your
Says,
friends.
"Ooh." Buddy, I don't know about you, man, but I think it got about 15 degrees cold down here, eh? I need to go check my servers, make sure they didn't freeze over.
Oh, it's probably
All
a
right, all
Nico.
right. Well, we got that. We got that out of the way. Let's go. Let's go look at the freezer.
Actually, can that be canon? Can
What do
it
you
be
think?
that like I lowered the temperature of
Well,
the
you
room?
keep casting ice wall everywhere you go, and so
What can I say?
a thing.
Frosty the Snow Bitch.
Damn it.
damn it.
That's, I don't know if I. All right, so you guys leave old Nico's headquarters, which I think Nico, his office is, if you look on the map, it's kind of just right here off of the main hangar bay. He leads you back. As you can see, this place is built with a whole bunch of beds. Flop house is a great term, great word for it. There's a lot of people. You see some people who are like plugged in, actually, whether it's working or gaming or watching markets or any number of things, both legal and otherwise. You do see a lot of beds with people who are very much plugged into something entirely different. And he leads you back through a maze of corridors, and you end up in a small room back here, if you see on the map, which when you walk down this hallway, the hallway itself seems to end in a utility closet. You've got a mop and a bucket, neither of which have been used in longer than at least a couple of you have been alive. And Nico wheels into this closet, pulls a lever down, and it opens up into a small room. I'd say about 18 by 24 feet in shape, and you guys walk in. This is the freezer. For the untrained eye, it looks like an odd collection of what have yous and unimportant junk. But Vax, when you walk into this room, you've been in the freezer before. This is not like a surprise to you, but you know in a way that your companions wouldn't recognize. Yeah, if you've got some criminal background, so I think you would at least pick up on the gravitas of the room itself. Vax, you realize despite standing in an 18 by 24 foot room, you are standing in probably billions of credits worth of lost, stolen, misplaced, forgotten items. Despite the appearance, and not the appearance, but the actual nature of this station, this room alone possesses enough to change the shape and the movement of the Federation and intergalactic politics. This is a literal treasure trove.
What you mean, freezer? This shorts weather.
I think I have the thing in my duster. I don't know if I had my duster in the suit. Can I say that I did?
Yeah,
Okay.
I assume you would have brought it in with you. Yeah.
I'd like to look for an item that acts as a container. Something that like if there was like something comparable to like a keg or like something that that's a sealed container, a large sealed container.
Well, if I remember correctly, you all brought, when you were down in the dungeon, quote unquote, in the basement lab with Dr. Cartwright, he had it contained in a square container, a small one.
Right.
I'd say probably 8 inches on each side tops. Or actually, no, it's smaller than that. The seat itself is about the size of a closed fist, so I'm saying it's 6 by 6 by 6. So you removed that container when you all left. Do you have it with you now, or did you take the seat out of the container? I assume you didn't touch it with your bare hands, Vax, after your prior experience with just that. But if you have it in that container now, or if not, it's fine.
Yeah.
Well, like out of character, I remember you and Joe talking about carrying it around in the container.
Yeah, I'd like to look for something that is like a secure object or secured container, like so that it can be kind of hidden or locked away.
Well, Vax, buddy, what can you tell me about this thing? We got containers. Or we got boxes, we got tubes, we got everything you could possibly want. But you got tell me what you can about this thing, because I could put it in the box, but it might not do you any good. If we're trying to keep this thing safe, you know what I mean?
Yeah, Nikos, I appreciate your help. I'll tell you exactly what you need to know about this thing. That is that you need to know as little as possible. In case it ever becomes a problem, you need to know as little as possible about this thing. But I'll tell you a few more things. I'm going to try to figure out what to do with the disposition of this package. I'm going to try to get it off your hands as quickly as possible. In the meantime, unlike anything you've ever seen, Nikos, you need to make sure that no one touches this thing. Unlike anything you've ever seen.
Hey, but you know me, my lips are sealed. Now, sounds like this is a pretty big ticket item, right? So, I'm gonna be honest with you, Vax. I don't know if I owe you. You got my sister out of that little dust up right off of the surface of Mars, but I don't know if that's gonna cover this, man. I might need to ask you for a favor in the future. I might need you to say yes. You know what I mean?
Hey, you didn't even have to ask, Nikos.
I'm just saying. Well, we got a box for you. You got a rough idea of we talking energy, we talking heat, we talking electricity? Is there some sort of signature we can pick up on this thing? What kind of coating do we need? I mean, you don't tell me who you got it from. I don't need to know who you pissed off. I don't need to know who you're running from. You just got to tell me how to hide this thing as best as possible, because that's what I'm trying to do for you here.
I imagine part of what makes the freezer what it is that it's a clean room, right? So it's like what we would call a skiff, but it's not anymore. It's not a skiff, but like every Federation facility would have, like the U.S. has that. Like if you have a government facility, you'll have a skiff, and it's always located in a place that is harder to penetrate. It's usually down in the ground and behind concrete barriers and things like that. Signals don't come and go out of it except through secure lines. Anyways, back into character. Yeah, Nikos, that's why I think this ought to go here. I would assume the worst on all accounts. I wouldn't have this thing anywhere near a data source. I wouldn't have anyone that has any plugs coming in here, and that's why I mentioned Rupert. Look, I know you've been trying to work with Rupert for a while, and I know he's gotten us out of some scrapes, but if Rupert comes in here, I don't know what this could do.
Well, Rupert, usually he just stays plugged in, but I'll do what I can. I'll keep Rupert out as much as I possibly can, all right?
Yeah, as far as sensors go, this room is probably as good as any, but I wouldn't have any stray data sources that could come in and out of this room. I would make it clean if I could.
Yeah, no, you know how we do. You know how we do the freezer. There's no signals coming in and out. This place is clean. You couldn't, if you yelled right now, they couldn't hear you on the other side of that door.
All right.
But yeah, I'll take care of it. Pulls out he takes the box that you had it in, but then he brings out another sealed container, and he takes the box you gave him, puts it inside of this one, locks it, and then you see that it's got both a handprint as well as a retinal scanner on it. So he holds the box over to you. Vax, this isn't your first rodeo with this, so you put your palm on it, give it a hand scan, you hold your eye up to it, give it a retinal scan. He said, all right, it's locked now. It's only used one can open it.
Wait, can we, stop him and do one of the scans on him and one of the scans on me? So both of us have to be here to open it?
You mean like a dual key system?
Hey,
yeah, he does the
make it
hand
a
when I
triple
do the
key
eye.
system. We got 3 people, 3 hunters. All 3 hunters have to be here in order to You know,
I just meant since there's
actually,
the hand scan and an eye scan, just do like you do the hand and then I do the eye or something.
yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying. He's like, well, we can set this up. And so he sets it up so that, Vax, I like your idea. That all three of you have to be there to do it. He's going to take a retinal scan from all three of you. So yeah, all three of you have to be in the room to unlock this. He takes it back. Man, I really hope that doesn't come back to bite you three in the ass.
Hope not.
Annika's the first to
anyway.
die.
Take her eyeball.
Fair. As long as we can salvage that.
So, right. Right, exactly. Okay. So you guys lock that up. Well, and as you're walking back out, you know, Nikolai says, Vax, so buddy, how you been? I haven't seen you in a dog's age.
I think he actually looks pretty bad because he's 15 years older now, or 12 years older.
Hey.
I've felt better, Nico's. Work has been kind of rough lately. I got myself in a mess. I know I haven't been around much. It's been a couple of years that I've gotten into this mess, and that's why I haven't been back here. I'm sorry about that. You all are like family.
Hey, but you don't gotta apologize. It's all good, you know. Work takes you places. You go here, you go there. It's just that's how the cookie crumbles, right?
Yeah, I appreciate that, Nikos. So, what have you found lately? What's going on in the Federation? What's going on back in real space?
Oh man, well, you know, in the world that people know about, just the same old, you know, people trying to cause trouble. Federation stamps them out, cleans out towns, cleans out families. Same old, brother. But he said, I'll tell you this, I don't know what you're playing in, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know if I want to know, but there's been some rumbles. There's been some weird things popping up. I just heard some weird static on this place. I don't know if you ever heard of. I don't know if you ever heard of it, but it's called Kepler. It's one of the moons rotating around Kepler. It's 186. Was it E? 186E? Nah, 186F. Kepler 186F. People talking about monsters and shit. So I don't. Weird stuff coming up, man. It seems to be there's something starting. So I don't know if you want to keep your nose clean or get it real dirty. I know you like to be right in the center of things, but tell you this: if you ever need a hand, you know who to call, right?
Yeah, Nikos. Yeah, I do.
So Ross, I'm going to say you've just gained an ally in the game. So now you have someone. Well, and you acts as a hunter, but you know the team as a whole, I'll say, has gained an ally in Nikolai. So, all right. So you guys are gonna. Or any other business you want to take care of while you're in the nest there, Vax?
What mechanically? I'll look at it later. Never mind. No, I don't want to. Okay, I'll look at that an ally. No. Anything you guys want to do?
All right.
Not really. I mean, yeah,
Okay.
it definitely is tempted to swipe something off a shelf, but he's aware of the stakes.
Oh, from the freezer?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that would particularly go well, but
No.
all right. So you guys, what's next? World's your oyster.
Well, now that we've gotten the seed taken care of, are we still thinking make up some kind of cover story and go back to the sect?
I think that might be our best bet. If I, a lot of times, like I was saying before, I found the best way to try to figure out where a person really is to try to just deny them something they want just a little while. I think we're about to find out who these people really are. And if they kill us or torture us or extract memories out of our brains, I guess we'll have answers of a kind.
Seed safe.
And
You guys hit.
to be honest, I think they could probably track us down if they wanted to.
Finding is one thing. With red protection, find not matter. Retrieve much harder.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. All right. So you guys heading back to the sanctuary?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So you guys get on your ship. What's going on? Jukebox likes to pop up in a separate window. All right. So you guys are gonna roll back to sanctuary. Once again, as you pull in, you see the beautiful planet. You come in, it's green, it's verdant, different in many ways from the places that you've been up until now. Obviously, in stark opposition to the icy, watery moon of Europa and the red desert planet of Kepler 186f. And as you descend in onto that same helipad that you came in on the first time, you're greeted by the technical crew. They get the sign off from UVAX and begin making any repairs, upgrades, cleanings to your ship. And you head back into the sanctuary.
I think before we do, we gotta figure out our play. Also,
Yes,
I'd like to
yes.
note that if this music is happening in world, Ross loves it like a lot. I'm sure Vax like hates it. Like Vax is like, this is making my ears bleed, but Ross loves it.
Ross, yeah, I assumed Ross would love it. Vax is probably not. It's not his scene, you know. He's it's not his not what he's not going to buy front row tickets to this concert. But this is the sound that is. It's one of those things where as you walk, and I'm not walking you guys into the sanctuary right now, into the sanctum, but you know, as you walk through the halls, it's one of those things where like you can almost. It's almost like you can hear it in the back of your mind, and as soon as you try to like focus in on it, you lose it. And it's this very weird, almost like subconscious psychedelic effect where you just know the music is playing, but you can't put your finger on it. And it's just one of the many delightful things about this place that's many enjoy. And Vax, I think you could see if you were in a different life, if you had gone into the religious service, that it would be a very peaceful place. It is a tranquil, beautiful, peaceful place. Think the chapel at the Air Force University. If any of you have ever been there,
I have it. I'm gonna write it down.
Have you? Oh, here. Let me. Let's see.
I can think of a lot of places
Yeah.
though.
I'll be right back just a sec.
Although this is the Imperial City.
Wait
Such a
second
cool
for-
image.
Are
Shoulders.
you looking it up?
Oh no, I was just looking at the deities. Some of them are super
yeah.
super gnarly.
That was a fun.
It's fun, isn't it?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is fun. Yeah, I told you when I prep, I go on walks outside and talk to myself, and I think I probably walked 2 or 3 miles the day I wrote the Pantheon for this game.
That's awesome.
It was a fun day. It was a good time. I'm gonna send, instead of putting it in the game, I'm gonna send it to the find. Wait wait for Sean to get back.
I am back.
Oh, sorry.
How dare you not recognize me immediately? How dare you?
I wasn't on the screen.
No, I'm just fucking with you.
Okay. Yeah. So you guys go ahead. You guys. I would assume would like to come up with a course of action before you walk in and try to convince the high priestess that you don't have the seed.
At the very least, we definitely need a unified story.
Yeah,
So if they
tell
do,
her-
for some reason, separate us and question us, then we can track.
there's one little catch here too. There's a loose thread. We don't know what Jordan said.
So
Well, it is 3 against 1.
I agree. I couldn't have said that better, my Russian friend.
I think simple story, best story. Yes. We tell her, crazy doctor man, take seed, put in chest like crazy man. We attempt to free, instead kill crazy man, and he fall into pit with seed, and neither seen again.
Yeah, it might be worth noting the entire facility lost its pressurization somehow and collapsed in on itself at the seabed of Europa, so there's also
Crazy
that.
man half robot, maybe half robot, have button to pressurize whole sea base.
Yeah. Yeah. So, is that the play?
yeah, simple seems best.
KISS, keep simple, stupid.
All right. Let's go talk to human resources.
All right.
Why
So
we go
you,
to human resources? That's where you go for blood magic. Why we need that? No need human resources.
You know, you're right, Anika. Why don't you lead the way?
I think Raw. All right, so you guys walking once again back into the first level of the old HQ. Sanctum is obviously the name of the city that you all are in. The building itself is the sanctuary. So you guys walk back into the sanctuary and are again greeted by Brother Liam and Sister Sophia, the two that have been assigned in the sect to your group. And they greet you, and as always, are very welcoming. And they say, "How was your journey? You all look very road weary. We'll say it that way. What can we do for you? I assume you would like to clean up before you go see the high priestess."
Huh?
Yeah, I appreciate that. Things have been kind of hard. We don't have a lot of good news to offer.
Yeah. Well, I understand that. It's never easy to give bad news, but I'm sure the high priestess will be understanding. And they walk you along to your quarters and they're just kind of small talking with you and chit chatting, and you will have an opportunity to get cleaned up, wash off, patch any wounds, comb your fur, all of the little things that you guys do. And then once you're done, Brother Liam and Sister Sophia come and get you again, and they walk you up a path that you are now at least a little more familiar with. It's certainly less daunting now that you've done it once, and you're taken up to the inner sanctuary to see the High Priestess. High Priestess Dingele, sorry, that's her name. And she greets you, and let's see, where she is. And she says, "I hear that you all have had a most wearying journey."
Yeah, you could say that. What do I call you, anyways, out of respect? Is it High Priestess, or...
High Priestess is fine.
I'm sorry. This is all kind of new to me, if you understand.
No, I certainly do, and I would not be offended if you did not nail my title perfectly every single time. It is we have rules and restrictions around here that can certainly seem cumbersome, I imagine, to the uninitiated, but I have no expectation for your perfection.
Well, uninitiated and imperfect are my second and third middle names. But, look, I, we've got some bad news, and we might as well just get with it. We encountered a man on Europa after some searching. His name was Dr. Tiberius Cartwright. He was running a facility in the high security prison known as the Pit. When we made it into the facility, the government of the hold on, give me a moment. Damn it. Astrofel, the government of Astrofel, they didn't take too kindly to our presence or to your commission and being there. So they tried to kill us, and we made it into the pit, but the employees there knew that something was happening in the laboratory further down closer to the seabed, and so we made our way down there after killing horrific things, a tumor bear, some people, some inhuman people, and Dr. Tiberius Cartwright was presiding over a gigantic pool of goo, which seemed to have some sentience, and then placed the object you were looking for in his chest, and we killed him. But after that, in the process of killing him, the facility was destroyed and the item was lost.
She takes this very seriously, understandably. She said, well, that is certainly not ideal. As you know, Harasis is actively seeking out these items, and will not be stopped in her search. So the question remains of what we are going to do about this. What can you tell me about what you saw down there?
It was creepy, I tell you. The things we were fighting, the tumor bear and the zombie people, they were coming out of this pit with the doctor over it, and when he fell into it after we killed him, he was just gone.
Now, if you killed him, Nika, how did he fall into the pit? Please help me understand. Surely you understand this is something that I need in details on.
Well, pit take up very much of room. Very hard fight round pit. So we fight man because he have seed, and he fall into pit.
In fact, did you say you had taken? You say you pulled the seed out of his chest, or did you just kill him?
Oh, we killed him. I mean, it's worth noting, High Priestess, that he makes a gesticulation that doesn't line up with that. It's worth noting that the sorts of things that you've hired us to try to fight, I can't really ever say if they're dead or if they were dead before anyways, so it becomes a bit of semantics at that point. But we destroyed the person as far as we could tell, and the facility was destroyed.
That certainly makes things more challenging, I will say that.
Well, High Priestess, what do you think we should do?
Well, we have people for those sort of things. We will not be sending you back to Europa. I can tell you that. Um, there is much more yet to do before all of this, but we certainly cannot leave the seed sitting at the bottom of a pile of rubble on the depths of Europa. So we will carry on with our missions. Your team.
No, no,
Um,
misunderstand. Evil monster pit, goo, pit of monster goo, bottomless pit. Not like
well,
quarry, not quarry. If it's simple pit, we go get seed. Don't be silly.
well, Miss Anika, I can tell you, having seen the other side of uh, many curtains myself, that there is no such thing in this universe as a truly bottomless pit. And if every pit has a bottom, and we are more than capable of finding it. But that is outside of the reach of your team. That is not what we hired you to do. So rest assured, we will send our best people to Europa. They will go to the site of what you said, and we will, now that we have you and your valiant efforts have deposed of this doctor, did you say Cartwright? Tiberius Cartwright, is that correct? Now that he is taken care of and Carassus has been held at bay for the moment, we will be able to go back and sift through the rubble, shall you? And we will be able to retrieve the seed. We thank you and your team, Mr. Ternan, for fighting off the initial horde that came from it, as you will. So we will be able, at the end of the day, to prevail. We will retrieve the seed. For the time being, there is much more work for your team to do in other areas. Do not be afraid. We will prevail on this front as with all others in time.
High Priestess, I don't know if this is something under your purview, but since we're debriefing you directly, it may be of interest, and it may help us in the future in case you happen to have any information about this. But the Council of Guilds that rules Astrofel imprisoned us and tried to kill us. It seemed like they were directly trying to aid the beings.
Well, I can't speak much to the Council of Guilds on Europa. We have people on Europa, as you are well aware, and they navigate their way through the guilds. I am not aware at this time of any connection between the Council of Guilds and Carassus' forces, but we will certainly look into it. I believe, Mr. Ternan, that a more plausible explanation on this side of our investigation is simply what we know about the Council of Guilds to be true, that they are a pompous group of self-righteous individuals who have gained some modicum of power on a small moon surrounding a gas giant and believe themselves to be kings of their own individual galaxies. So we will certainly look into that, though, and hopefully we will find no connection, but we will certainly reward you greatly if that information turns out to be of value. We thank you. We have agents on Europa, and it is challenging for them to get too close to the Council of Guilds, as you found they can be a bit prickly at times.
Speaking of rewards, but before we talk about that, I hope that you all don't find anything on Astrofel either, but if you do, you should know that your liaison there, Celeste Thibodeau, is actively working against the sect and betrayed us. I'm sorry to bring you this bad news, High Priestess, but anyways, now, you'd mentioned reward, by the way. I believe there was a payment.
Yes, of course. Your payment, as usual. I'm looking through my notes. What did you guys get paid last time? What did I pay you last time?
I have no fucking idea.
I think I have it in my other notebook, but I can check here to see if I got it.
I have 625 credits, but I bought 2 items.
I think it was.
Yeah, I think it was 1,000.
I think that sounds accurate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do. Sorry, go ahead, Ross.
No, I'm sorry. No. I was gonna say that.
I believe it was that. I haven't updated the quartermaster item list yet, so I'll do that, and we'll do the quartermaster purchases one-on-one. But yeah, you guys receive your payment in kind.
1,000 credits.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, this one is 1,200 for. There's some extra hazard pay in there.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, Europa's a hair more dangerous than, at least a little bit more dangerous than Kepler.
Just a little.
Yeah, just a little bit.
1,200 total,
I mean,
or
and I'll update the quartermaster list and send that out to you guys.
High Priestess, before we
We'll get a
discuss
chance.
our next job, there's something else that might help equip us. These two here kind of, when Jared told me to reach out to people to form a team, these are the folks here that I knew would be good at, what do you say, no offense, Yafai, but or Anika, the weirder side of things. And I don't know if you have anything like that here, but Anika and I aren't doing too well. Something happened to us when we were exposed to the object. And besides that, I still don't have my memories. Is this the sort of thing we can
What
always
is it you're
expect?
asking?
Can you? Something
Oh,
is
sorry, yeah.
something has happened to myself and Anika. It's like I feel withered, tired, like too much butter spread over bread, or butter spread over too much bread.
A little butter spread
Feel
over too much
thin.
bread.
Someone, I feel like someone tying bows with our strings of fate. Make shorter with pretty bow.
And I mean, no offense, Anika, but she didn't have this much white hair the last time we left.
I
So
feel
is,
like Anika would be offended by that.
Yeah, I know.
You do not treat women this way. No wonder you're single and stupid with your forgetting things.
hey, I am not stupid.
You probably made fun of old lady and she kicked your ass. Knocked the sense right out of your head.
Okay, enough. Yes. No, Mr. Taranin, Sanika, I certainly am sorry for the ways that these hunts have affected you. And we will certainly do what we can. We have certain abilities and powers given to us by that we are given as gifts. So we will do what we can to address the things that happen to you. But let's not be naive. You all knew what you were getting into. You knew this was going to be, if not the details, the danger. But this was not going to be easy. And Jaredin certainly did not hire you, Vax, because of your naivete or your stupidity. And Mr. Taranin, I'm certain you did not bring in your two compatriots because you thought it was going to be a cakewalk. For whatever reason, whether it be skills or history or sheer desperation, all four of you are here for reasons, very good reasons. You have giftings and skill sets. And so none of us are under the illusion that this is simple or that there will not be a cost inherent in these hunts and these challenges. So we will always do what we can to counteract the effects or to help heal wounds that have been caused. But I cannot promise you that you will not face more challenges like these as we move deeper and deeper into this battle, which is only going to end one of two ways.
I take the spectral diffractor out of my pocket, and I'm like, well, there's only one way that I'm going to try to figure this out at this point, and that's doing this work. So if you have any more jobs, I guess I don't really have any choices. I don't know about Yafai and Anika. Jordan, by the way, be nice to, like, kind of know more about him if he's going to kind of come around. Like, having I like Jordan, but he didn't give me a lot of choices the first time he showed up. So we worked well together in the past, but I'd like to know more about him.
Well, Jared's history is certainly his to share. It is a sordid one. And if you feel like you have not had many choices, then that is certainly something that Jared himself can relate to. I will say only this. Jared has made decisions in his past that cost him and others greatly. And the sect saw him and gave him mercy in a time that no one else would. And so Jared to this day is paying back his debt to this organization for saving his life and his soul. But the details of those escapades are, well, simply not my story to tell. I would not betray his privacy by doing so. If you know anything about Jared, you know that he is a deeply private man. And I would not want to disrupt that in any way. So I will leave that up to him to tell you and you to ask.
Fair enough.
But you do have a new mission. We will be sending you to a planet that a few of you may have heard of. It is the planet of Trappist 1E. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful planet. If I'd say by far one of the more picturesque ones that you have been to so far. And we have a problem there. We, once again, have been hearing rumors and whispers, as with the other two situations. Nothing quite so obvious as the first one, where you went to retrieve the scales. But the third symbol that you all will be retrieving is the knot. As we discussed before, each of these symbols represents one of the seven. You retrieved the scales for Sholdos. You retrieved the seed. That was the symbol of Rakfin. And the knot is the symbol of Odea, our goddess of purity, innocence, love, and beauty. So it will be up to you to determine where that is on Trappist 1E. Again, we only have whispers and rumors through our network, but we have a contact there that you will be meeting. Details will be sent to your ship as you are en route for the sake of privacy. So we will give that information to you as you travel. You will meet your contact there. He is very experienced on that planet, has been living there for many years, and I think will be able to offer a unique perspective into this particular hunt. So we are very hopeful. Again, I hope that we have more luck with the knot than perhaps we did with the seed. But I have full confidence in your ability to retrieve this for us in one piece. And with that, she gives each of you just the slightest of, and not even a bow. It's a head nod. You would obviously be expected to return that with an actual bow. And then she departs back into the inner chambers of the sanctuary. So,
Well, apparently they're in the business of saving souls. I don't think we can talk here.
Is there
All right.
really anywhere in the Citadel that we can talk? Or should we just head back to the ship?
My hope is we make it out to the Black. We can talk there. But who knows?
Need to resupply or
They've got
anything?
they've got resupplies on your ships. I think you took some vax when you were going dark into Aquarii. Took some, as you would expect, some dings and some scrapes coming in, navigating. So you've got probably a couple days of repairs to do on your ship, but you all are obviously very, very well taken care of. If it were me, I wouldn't rush to leave the sanctuary. It's the best food and lodging that you all experience on a regular basis. So you guys are going to have a couple days there of resting and recuperating. I will say in that time, Vax and Anika, you were taken to what could very loosely be called healers. And they are, through the gifts of the Seven, able to actually undo not all of the aging that you experienced, but they are able to cut that in half. So the amount of aging that you experience, they're able to at least shave a little bit off. Facts take you out of your 40s back into your 30s, and Anika, you're not in your 50s anymore. So you at least lose some of your gray hairs, but they are able to do that for you. They try to get you all the way back to your original age, but it's not an exact science. So they do what they can. And with that, we are going to leave you for tonight. We'll be picking up next time as you guys head into Trappist 1E and to seek out the Knot